Good day. Today we will talk about the conditioning of our children. It is conditioning that takes place in everyone's life. We have become old, we perform, we react, we behave in the society in the way of our behavior is actually the result of our conditioning that took place in our early life. Respected audiences, when a child takes birth, his 0 to 8 years life is very important. This time period is too much important. In this time period, he mostly follows the figure of his mother. He takes deep notice of his mother's action. From 8 years to 14 years, he observes his father's figure. We can say he follows his father's figures mostly. At the same time, the child is following the mother's figure and father's figure, but from 0 to 8 years, he is impressed by his mother's figures, and from 8 years to 14 years, he is mostly impressed by his father's figure. We can say that early 14 years of any child, that time period is too much important. The things that are we can say that would express in next life, like his beliefs, like his thinking patterns, like his valuing the relationship, like we can say the ratio of fear, the ratio of daring factor, and to control the adverse circumstances and to face the happiness. These things develop in early 14 years. The foundation takes place in these 14 years on which the whole of his life, we can say, proceed. We have noticed that in most houses and most families, parents do wrong things, like they set rules, they set patterns in a house, they set rules, different rules for themselves and different rule for the children. For example, if a father uses the mobile for the whole day, how he would forbade his child to use mobile, how he would stop the child to see the television. If the father, if the mother is performing the activity, a wrong activity, we can say how they would stop their child to behave in this way. For example, most of the mothers teach their children that you should answer me in a polite way. But at the same time, the mother is yelling, the mother is crying at the child. He is or she is answering or questioning the child in a rude manner. And they are expecting that their child should answer them in a polite, in a civilized way. The father and the mother actually are the demonstrations for the child. When we demonstrate in front of the child, not in a good way, the child would take the notice of that action. Our words have, we can say, not deep meanings when they are only words, but when they are accompanied by the visual actions, they have, we can say, effective meanings. Mothers and fathers should not call their children by bad names. Don't call a child by bad names. This would uh, put a wrong impression on the child. Don't every time discourage the child that you can't do this, that this is not your capacity to do this thing. Actually, parenting is, we can say, it is a technique. Parenting is, we can say, a profession. Give deep focus on the child. At the same time, don't create too much positivity in the children. Create a behavior that can handle or grasp the adverse and, we can say, difficult situations. Teach the child that adverse and negative situations and circumstances are also the part of life. Good things don't happen every time, we can say always. Bad things also happen with the human being because this is life. In life, bad and good are parallel things. Teach the child these two things, good or bad things. Too much positivity is also not good. Create a balance attitude in the child. If we proceed, there are different things also in the parenting. Parenting, we can say, don't appreciate the child too much and don't always criticize him too much. This would also create a negative thing in the child. If you uh, if you create if you always encourages the child, he will not create a behavior that will tackle this, we can say, adverse circumstances. Child observes his mother very deeply. His, we can say, his mental patterns, the mental pattern of the child takes notice of his mother. The early 0 to 8 years are very important period. That's why mother should be more, we can say, serious. She can, we can say, she should be more careful while bringing up the child. Our children are our responsibility. We should bring them up in a good way, spreading positivity and right information is, we can say, a real life. When you spread positivity, when you give right information to others, you will get real happiness in your life. Thank you